Jill Malik. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that sub button and the notification bell to be notified when I do go live.
Welcome to the GL Malik channel. This is Caddy. I'm the co-host. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Somebody in the comments, please let me know if you can hear me. So we have a couple of updates for you guys today, and the first one is Miss Cheryl. Remember way back in the day when Cheryl was on the show? Meg, can you hear me? She was dating this guy named Josh, right? And this is Josh. If you don't remember how he looks, this is Josh. So on the Where Are They Now special, she came out and said that she is with his best friend who was incarcerated at the time. Now this man is released. And this is him right there looking like Josh's lookalike. I mean, neck and all. Y'all look just alike. So I saw that he commented under our Where Are They Now special video a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to share it at that time. But look at the comment that he wrote. So I'm the Josh Hyatt on this video. This chick is crazy. I never asked her for shit. And how did she end up with my homie? How did he end up with her? Something's up. Ha ha ha. When did that happen? So even he's saying this relationship is sus. What do you guys think is going on here? I mean, this is somebody he was damn near engaged to. So I just find it hilarious that he's questioning their entire relationship. He thinks something's up. But you guys let me know what's going on with this. Somebody said Cheryl ain't fixed that tooth yet. Okay, so that was for Miss Cheryl. Now, Quaylon posted up on his Quay the Great Instagram channel, or his Instagram, his Instagram page. And, that's the page he blocked hella people on. He claims he is doing an interview. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and read all this because even all the typos and stuff right here is going to make me dizzy. But he's basically saying he's going to do an interview with his mother. So he was accepting questions here. So if you guys haven't yet, please submit your questions. If you're not blocked, please submit your questions. I think it's very interesting that he's having his mom do the interview, because is she going to ask any real questions? Is it going to be even like entertainment worthy? Like, what type of questions is your mom really asking, sir? And when is this interview taking place? There are no details as far as I can see, as far as, when this is going to take place. But if I do happen to catch it, I will share it with you guys. But if you guys can go in and shoot some questions in there, they ain't going to answer no real questions. I don't know what type of interview this is going to be. Somebody said, I hope she fixed her mouth and gained a few pounds. She's still very thin. Somebody said, Quay the weirdo. Yeah, real credible source. So, let's stay tuned. If we do catch the interview, we're going to share it with you guys. But just letting you know, that's the update on Mr. Quaylon. So moving right along, Prison Brides, Erin and Michael. For those of you who watch Prison Brides, she ain't going to ask about Erin, though. That whole damn part. She's not going to ask the questions we want to hear. Exactly. That's why he chose her. Instead of asking like somebody who's not, directly related to him or have some sort of relationship with him, he's going to pick his mother. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have... Anyway, we're going to talk about that later. So Erin and Michael from Prison Brides. So with Erin and Michael, the spoilers came out even before this last episode aired, and tonight's episode is going to come on. She found drugs in his work bag. And so she was like, yeah, I feel stupid and this and that. And her friend was like, you just got to get out of there. She gets in the car and she takes off. So, in real time, we find out, yes, he was back on drugs. He was back on METH. And after she found the stuff, she was like, oh, well, that explains why he was losing all that weight and stuff like that. We also found out in the spoilers, he's in there for parole violation, but we found out, and this is all alleged because they didn't name her name in the stuff, but we can put two and two together and know that it was her. He had tried to put his hands on her. He swung on her, allegedly, and he tried to hit her with a vehicle, all witnessed by a minor, one of his nephews. So this whole thing is scary. It's unfortunate. And in real time, she is in Ohio. So last night, she was on TikTok with some of the other Prison Bride cast, and she finally spoke on that. She hasn't said anything about it. So I wanted to share with you guys what she was saying. She was being very real and very candid and telling her truth. So I wanted to share with you guys what she was saying. And I also got a clip that, he's in Ohio, right? They live in Ohio, right? This man is incarcerated in the same prison as Muffin Man. She was explaining it. She was like, yeah, he said he's seen this little dude up in there, was like, hey, I know you. And it was Muffin Man. They're in the same place, allegedly. So, interesting, right? Just such a small world. So anyhow, let's hear what she had to say. And she was very, very emotional last night. So let's get into it.
At all. He didn't want to talk about his mum. He was like, no, that's off limits. And I was like, Michael, I think it's something that you should do, because, you know, there are thousands of people every day losing a loved one, but then you had to do it while you're incarcerated. And while it was your own fault, you were locked up. It's just going to give an insight to like what people go through when they're locked up. Like they don't get to grieve. They don't get to be there. They don't get that support, like in a place where they're not supposed to be showing that kind of emotion. To have to wait a year, get out, and then I guess like have cameras in your face, and like people probably won't understand the emotion unless you explain. Like they had a lot to work through, and they were very, very close in the end, and I feel really lucky that I got to meet her. And I can't imagine what it feels like for anyone in the family to have lost her. And I don't want to minimize his sister's grief. But to say he lied for sympathy or an excuse, it really rubbed me the wrong way, because
it's already a shit situation without Erin stuff.
It was so odd to me, especially because the way she spoke about it, it was like it was clear that she had her information from what she knew from him 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There are so many things that were filmed, and so many like beautiful, warm moments. He is very, very, he can be hard, you know, like drugs do wild things to people, and meth especially, and he became a different person. But you know, my brother is also an addict, and I know how it becomes like they're not them.
Yeah.
He chose to do horrible things, and but it doesn't change that, you know, I know his heart, and it's hard to separate the two, because he is a really warm, kind, loving, compassionate, thoughtful, so extremely thoughtful, like, person. There's no excuse for anything that he did. And no one has to forgive him. And I'm really struggling with that every day, because, again, like, I'm just so incredibly hurt, so I don't know how to separate that.
I think that's the hardest thing, isn't it?
So in the beginning of the clip, she was talking about Michael's sister. Michael's sister did a video saying that Michael lied for sympathy when he talked about their late mother. So that's what triggered Erin. So even though she mentioned that she's blocked him on everything, he can't contact her. He's even tried to contact her on Cash App. She's blocked him everywhere, but it still pains her. She's still going through a lot right now. And she mentioned last night she misses him. So she feels like she's going through a loss, like she's grieving a loss. Even though he's still alive, it's still a loss for her. So she's just explaining what she's going through, and then she was triggered by what the sister was saying. So let's continue on to this second part. And yes, he is back in prison.
But it's okay to miss him, Erin. Oh, my throat. I think you
Sorry.
are. No, don't be sorry. This is a complete. Get it all off your chest, because it seems like you've been locked away, scared about what people are going to say. But we literally, I know every single person in here, if they could, would give you the biggest hug right now. You do not have to apologize for being selfless, for being courageous, for doing something when there was always a risk of people saying, I told you so. You still did it. You followed your heart. How many people can honestly sit here and say, I'm all of those things. I'm brave enough to move across the world. I'm brave enough to put my life on the line for somebody else. Not many. So you should never, ever apologize for that. Because I'm sure in here as well, there's be girls that have done stupid stuff for love too. Maybe just in a different way. Like, you're not stupid at all. And I know that none of us think that you're stupid at all.
I think it's easier for like prison wives or people in these kinds of situations or long distance. I feel like it's easier for them to empathize, whereas some people are just watching like, and I always expected that. What is frustrating is that you know, I moved here in the hope of making a better life for my son, because there are things that I couldn't say or talk about on camera. But Australia was not a good place for me. I had some really amazing people around me, but for the most part, Australia was not a happy place for me, and somewhat dangerous for me in a lot of aspects, unfortunately. So moving here, I really hoped that I could set up a better life and a safer life for my son. And I think that's the most frustrating thing, is I could just... to be so close to feeling like I could, and I'm just like, Michael, how could you fuck this up?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my son's father has shown him everything to try and further brainwash him, because that's what he does. But my son is not actually with my ex. He doesn't actually have him. Which is another thing I couldn't say on there, because I didn't want to piss him off anymore, but he's doing the most right now. I really, you know, I still have this like hope that one day I could come, you know, set things up here for him, but
and that's okay that it didn't go to plan, because
So you guys heard it. So it sounds like the situation in Australia was not good. It was not safe for her. And I was also surprised to find out that her son is not even in the father's custody. So that's interesting as well. So it's like she was going through a lot in Australia and tried to get away, and just to come here and going through some even more stuff. So I really hope she gets the therapy that she needs, because, you know, it doesn't sound like she has a lot of support around her. I hope she gets the help that she needs, because this is definitely an unfortunate situation. And then they were talking about how the trolls were attacking her online. It's like, girl, F the trolls at this point. You fix you and your life and fix what's going on with your son. The whole thing is interesting to me. And it's scary at the same time, because who knows what Michael could have done to her. Okay, so let's go on. And after she like, you know, poured her heart out on the internet for the first time, she was very thankful because they were showing her a lot of love in the comments. So let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say.
I just wanted to quickly say thank you to everyone who has stood up for me and sent me some love or well wishes or prayers. Some of you might know what's happened. Some people might know little bits and pieces, or what they might have seen on TV. But regardless, I think support is what I needed during this time, and complete strangers have stepped up to do that. And all the prison wives that didn't need to say or do anything have, and it's made a world of difference. Thank you to everyone who's been so kind. It goes a really, really long way. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that too, that she left her child. I don't know who her child is in custody with. I'm hoping it's a grandparent or something like that. Sounds like she's actively working to get him here. But who knows? She's still in Ohio. She's still working. Sounds like she's cut communication off with Michael. I don't know. She's been saying that he's been saying sorry, sorry, sorry. I don't know if she plans on accepting him back at some point. She says she has no clue when he's getting out. So we shall see. We'll continue to watch this story and keep you guys posted if we hear anything else. But that's it for the updates, folks. Let me know what you think about the news that you heard today. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified anytime we do go live. Feel free to contact Gio on Instagram with any news, tea, or updates at Gio_said_it. And I'll be signing off right now.